So are we keeping the black backdrop for a while? I'm kind of into it. Today I'm gonna do a tutorial. Basically, the other day I was thinking about how like I haven't really done full glam, like just glam, like all the colors, you know, in a while. And I just kind of wanted to like see if I could still do it. And I ordered these products from Juvia's place like forever ago to do a tutorial with them. And I just saw this like eyeshadow palette and I was like all the colors, you know? So that's what we're gonna do today. So my skin is technically primed. I just applied some sunscreen after moisturizer. And now I'm just gonna color correct underneath my eyes like usual. So this time, rather than putting down an eyeshadow primer, I'm just going to put a little, I'm gonna put a little eyeshadow primer on my ring finger. And then I'm just gonna mix it. I'm not gonna layer them. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the LA Girl concealer in, I think it's like ivory or something, light ivory, but it's quite warm. So I use it to color correct. Okay, still way too much. I don't know why you're so far away. I am going to use their foundation. I'm gonna go in with their foundation now. Duh, like what? This is the Full Coverage Foundation in the shade Vienna, 700 Vienna, which I have swatched. I'm not gonna mix it with anything because I want to see like what the formula is really like. But I did swatch it and it seems like it's ever so slightly like pink, but we shall see. So I'm gonna be applying that with my Eco Tools plant biodegradable sponge. So we're gonna this is a full cover, yeah, you can see. Well, it's a little bit yellowy toned, but it's like a little too much. It's too on the neutral side. It's not quite olive enough, but I think it'll be fine. This is a very full coverage foundation, I can already tell. Wow, it just keeps going. Okay, so I'm gonna go for full coverage because like super glam, you know? Wow, very full coverage. I'm assuming this is more matte. It's also maybe like a shade too dark, but I think it'll be okay once I go in with concealer. Wow, I'm pretty impressed with the coverage. And the finish looks nice. I mean, why is my mirror so far away? Like, why do I do this to myself? It's definitely a shade too dark, and it's definitely way more on the neutral side. So like when I'm looking at my neck, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't match, but I have my tricks. Maybe matte natural. We'll have to see how it like finishes. But like honestly, looking at the finish in the monitor and on camera, it looks really beautiful. I haven't worn a full coverage foundation in such a long time without like shearing it out, you know? Kind of bring it down my neck a little. Try and cheat that. Very impressed. I think that's really pretty. One of the reasons that I picked up the Juvia's Place makeup in general was because people kept asking me to try the concealer. This is the first time that I'm trying the concealer. So I'm kind of excited. I got 2 shades because I didn't know. So I got 22 and 23 and I'm a little confused because they look exactly the same. So let me see. This is 22 and this is 23. No, 22 is a little more pink. Wow, it's playing serious tricks on my eyes, dude. I think I'm gonna use 23. Alrighty, so I'm gonna brighten here. It looks like it's gonna be full coverage here. It also looks like it could possibly be oxidizing a little bit darker. I'm gonna place it. I'm doing my highlighting and contouring a little bit differently. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then if you want a separate tutorial for that, but this is like trial and error. Yep, this is a full coverage concealer. I really am loving the finish though. And it's not like cakey at all. Like neither of these products, the foundation or the concealer, because I feel like this is the most product I've applied to my face in a very, very long time. I'm not blending fully yet because I definitely put down a lot of product, so. And it also like seems relatively hydrating. I feel like such an Instagram makeup person right now. Just like blending those colors together. I'm gonna dab that sponge off on my paper towel because I just like picked up way too much product. I'm very impressed with the with how much coverage the concealer provides. I feel like this looks pretty nice. you know? And then it also kind of makes the foundation, because the foundation's ever so slightly dark, it makes the foundation work with my skin a little bit better. Yeah, that coverage is pretty legit. I'm gonna flip my sponge around and just pick up some of the excess product because I definitely was not expecting that much full coverage. It's like the Juvia's Place concealer just kept going. Let me know if you want to see another concealers comparison video, including this one, because I would like to see how it stands up next to the Juvia's Place concealer. Okay, so like I said, my contour routine is changing a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of like speed through that. And if I like it and you guys are interested, I'll share it. Okay, I'm gonna just sketch my brows out real quick. All right, so I'm just using a cool toned, darker eyeliner, brow pencil to like sketch out the shape basically. I gotta say I'm pretty happy with everything so far, like my skills and also the products. It's just nice to know that I can still do it if I want to, you know? I'm gonna take a little bit of the foundation and then just a flat brush and kind of clean up the shape. Wow, that foundation is definitely full coverage. I love the formula. It's definitely too neutral though. But I think it might actually look really nice if I mixed it with my Makeup Forever color correcting liquid in, this is the green one. I don't know if NYX has discontinued theirs. I saw a comment somewhere that said that, and I have some backup, so I haven't like checked, you know? Okay, so before I set with any powders, wow, I'm looking very, very bright in the center of my face. I'm gonna do a little bit of bronzing using their, what is this? I don't even know what this is. I don't know if this is supposed to be a foundation stick. I honestly can't remember. It could be a foundation stick, a bronzer stick. Maybe it was foundation. This is in the shade Manila, and I just thought that it would be a nice shade for bronzing because it looks pretty similar to a lot of the powder bronzer shades that I use, which are somewhere. I've been trying to clean up my desk so that like there isn't just shit everywhere, but now I can't find anything. Yeah, like it looks really similar to this bronzer that I've been using, almost a little more warm though. Like this one's actually a little bit more neutral. So I think this will be nice. Place this where I want to bronze. Where'd my little guy go? You guys know this brush. It's like a little guy from Wet n Wild. Surprisingly, this foundation actually like stuff blends on top of it really nicely as well. Like I feel like even despite it being very full coverage, when you blend with like a brush or even a sponge or whatever, you're not really like, you don't remove any of the product. Like it just blends really, really nicely. It doesn't remove any coverage. That's really pretty. It's very subtle because it's not super dark. So I think I'm liking this new contour technique. Okay, I'm gonna prime my lids with my Anastasia primer because these eyeshadows are very vibrant and I want them to like really stand out. So I want to use a nice light primer. I'm gonna set. So for underneath my eyes, I'm just gonna use my Cosmetics setting powder. You guys have actually seen this. This is the White Sands setting powder, and I already love this. This is one of the this is one of the products that I did use when I purchased this stuff, and it's a beautiful, like pale, kind of golden shade, the golden vanilla, and it's excellent for particularly, I mean, it's versatile, definitely, but it's excellent for like fair olive skin tones, so I would highly recommend this. If your skin tone happens to be a little bit darker than mine, then this would be a nice under eye powder, or just like brightening a little bit. And if your skin tone's close to mine, great face setting powder. So I'm going to be using that. But first I'm going to set my under eyes. I'll blend it out. Wow. And there was like absolutely no need for a second application of concealer, which I tend to do because that concealer was super full coverage. And then I'm going to take that same powder because I like to brighten like down the side of my nose. Especially if I contour it like that for glam. Brighten up here and then around my nostril, smile lines, a little bit of that on my chin. Everywhere that I put a little concealer, right between my brows. All right, let's use that White Sands powder. Woo! oh my god, a lot came out, but you can kind of like, hopefully you can kind of see the tone. And I'm going to use the Sigma tapered cheek brush to set my face. And I'm gonna use a small amount of this powder. What I like about it is that it's very finely milled. They obviously have a bunch of different like colors for different skin tones. And it doesn't make you look like powdery, it really just like sets the makeup. So I'm just gonna pat this all around to set that foundation, get rid of that shine. The first thing that I really loved when I used this powder was definitely the color, but the formula really solidified it for me. I'm taking this fucking everywhere, bro. Cause like, you know those full glam chicks who just like powder all over the place? You want this shit to last, right? Should we go in with a setting spray at the end? This is literally the most makeup I've had on my face in a year. Like, I can't remember the last time I did super full glam. The one thing I'm missing is a blush. I don't have a blush. I thought that I bought one, but I cannot find it anywhere. So I'm really disappointed. If you can recommend one of their blushes, if there's a color that you really, really like, let me know that you think would be light enough for my skin tone. I can't even remember like which one I bought, but I swear I bought one. Anyway, I'm gonna do the eyes and then we'll, you know, figure out the blush after all of that. So I'm gonna be using the Afrique palette, which is super duper colorful. We've got a lot of, got some primary colors. We've got some, the other ones. And I'm not entirely sure what direction I wanna go in. I've got a black background and a neutral top on, so possibilities are endless. But I'll show you quickly the lip colors that I have. So I got one of the metallic ones, which is Mina Metallic, which is a little bit more purpley. And then I got this slightly more warm, oh, this is the matte Mina, but it's like, it looks more warm. If you look at them up close, I don't know how well you guys can tell, maybe you can't, but the metallic one looks more purpley, and then the other one looks a little bit more on the like Merlot maroon. Oh, you can kind of see it there maybe. Oh dude, fuck it, I'm gonna use the metallic one because like if we're going in, you know? So I'm gonna try to stick along those lines, I guess, since there's a little bit more purpley toned in this. So I'm going to start off with Kissy, this one, the neutral shade, just for a base. We're not gonna be boring, I promise. I picked up the orange. I want this to be smoke. These are very soft. I swatched them in a different video, and they were much softer. I was expecting them to be much more opaque, but they're actually like, yeah, just soft. All right, I'm just gonna build that up a little bit. So above my crease, like on my brow bone, basically. And I'm actually gonna bring it up into like the inner part of my brow like that, like in here. And then just diffuse outward. Yeah, so it takes like a little bit to build up the color because they are very soft. They're sort of like along the same lines as the Vive palette. That might be a little more opaque. And the Makeup by Mario. I think those two palettes, batteries, they're more, there's more payoff, like they're more opaque, but this is like soft. It's blendable like those palettes. Maybe they're not as opaque. Honestly, can't remember. All right, I'm gonna grab the Sigma E35 tapered blending brush, and I'm gonna grab Binto? Nope, just kidding. Dakar, orange, right here. And we're gonna start building up the color. If they could stop with the recycling bins outside, that'd be cool. It's like a little rude. You know what? I haven't done a round shape in a really long time. I gotta do that next time. I feel like I've been doing a lot of this. I need to do like a round halo eye or something. All right, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the yellow, Aya, I think. This guy, right here. And I'm gonna place this right in here. Yeah, these, it's interesting. These eyeshadows are not as pigmented as I was expecting them to be. I thought there was going to be like this crazy payoff, but they're actually quite soft. Like you can build up the color, but you know, it takes a minute. Okay, I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. Oh, I swear all my brushes are dirty. So this is the, I think this is from the I Love Seta collection with Morphe, the newest one, Paradise something. I'm gonna grab Bintu, this guy. There isn't a lot of like kickback, which is nice, but that probably has something to do with the fact that they're not like so saturated in color. Like they're not ridiculously pigmented, because usually like heavily pigmented shadows, there's gonna be like fallout, you know? And I'm going to place this on the outer part here, and then kind of blend it up into that orange, sort of creating like triangular wing over here, up into that crease. Somebody recently requested that I do a video where I use colors that make my green eyes pop, so here you go. Reds and oranges and yellows, all those warm tones. What am I gonna do on my lid? I'm gonna go into the lower lash line before I do my lid, because I really don't know what I'm doing. Because I like so many of these. So I need to use something. What the fucking hell is that? Oh, it's a cat. There was a cat hair sticking out of my, is that a whisker? I think it's a cat whisker. Creepy. Okay, I need something red in my waterline. So I don't know why, I just do. So I'm gonna use the ColourPop BFF Cream Gel Liner in the shade Joyride. Just like a deep burgundy in my waterline. I usually drag that onto my lower lash line a little bit, just so that like my waterline and my lash line don't end up looking disconnected. All right, something needs to change because we're looking very like sunsetty right now, and I'm not super into it. So yeah, I'm gonna use just like a little smudger brush and pick up Bintu. Just set that liner and kind of like buff that, keeping it relatively close to the lash line. Yeah, that red color is gonna be so pretty with the the lip, I mean. I'm gonna take more of that red Bintu on a brush that like really isn't meant for this kind of thing. And I'm gonna pack it more on the lid because I'm just really loving that red. So I'm taking it basically to like where the yellow is. Oh hey, that dry patch on my eyelid is back. And what's really annoying about it is that it was, I swear to God, it was gone this entire week. Shows up just in time for me to film today, so that's fun. And I know a lot of you guys suggested like Eucerin, Aquaphor, the CeraVe ointment, and I just didn't use anything. So I should probably do that now. I'm gonna take the orange color, or the orange, whatever brush that, I guess I'm gonna use the one that had the yellow on it, and pick up a little bit of the orange. And you know what? I'm gonna mix a little of the yellow in. And I'm just gonna blend this area right here. I like that pop of yellow because it's not like too much, you know? And then for my, like right in the inner part of my lid, I'm gonna pick up Kofi, this beautiful freaking warm, like, oh, so pretty. And I don't know if like you can really see this there, but it's got like some green, some like gold, and then this like really warm kind of like fiery red base. Stunning. I'm just gonna grab that on my finger and place that right here. Ooh, yeah. Yep. That's really beautiful. Also applies perfectly with your finger. Like, look at that. To blend into the red, I'm just gonna like kind of tap. I'm gonna tap up into that yellow a little bit, just a little. And then onto the, like, just over where, like the seam, basically, like where it meets that red. Okay, I'm starting to like this. I was like bored at first, but honestly, I think intensifying the red a little really helped. Because I just hate looking at like a colorful palette like this and feeling like I'm doing something that I've done a million times, you know? Which, like, don't get me wrong, I've probably done this look before, but whatever. Oh, I never put the cap back on my primer. reckless. For blending the lower lash line, I guess I'm just gonna do, I don't really want to feel like, I think I'm just gonna grab a little bit of Dakar, that orange shade. And once again, just on like kind of a little smudgy brush. And I'm gonna blend under that red. So I'm gonna kind of like pat it on the edge of that red. That was a lot, so I'm gonna wipe off my brush and then blend. I swear I always fuck up this eye. All right, and then for the very inner corner, with this little Morphe brush, don't know what it is, I'm gonna grab Aya, the yellow, just like, I don't know, pop it. I'm gonna kind of blend into that orange, just like in the inner part. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna place that like basically on like the tiniest part of my inner corner, like right there. And then I'm probably just gonna use the highlight to really open it up. All right, I'm just gonna pop on a little bit of blush. I think I'm just gonna use Patrick Ta, She's Sincere. For my highlight, I'm gonna use another product that I have used a million times. I've actually talked about it a bunch in favorites videos. This is the Juvia's Place, obviously, Clio highlight. And this is so incredibly stunning. It's a loose highlighter. They have a bunch of different shades. And what I love about this is that you can like, for a loose highlighter, you can really like make it look natural, or you can kind of build it up and make it look like beamin'. So we're gonna go for beamin' today. And I'm gonna place this on the very inner corner of my like nose, right across, you see what I'm saying? Right across from that yellow. It's just gonna kind of like brighten up this area and help make that yellow pop a little. If you have deep set eyes and you feel like this area of your face gets very dark, placing a very light color or a reflective color in here is gonna really help to open that area up. You know? I'm gonna take that on my brow bone. A little bit on the tip of my nose, which I haven't done in such a long time. Down the bridge. Packing it on up here and then making it a little more diffused as I go down. And then for my cheekbones, I'm gonna use this Wayne Goss brush. It's called the like airbrush something something perfecting whatever brush. I never know the name. Like, are you kidding me? Is that the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your entire life? It's like, it just glistens. And you can like really work it into the skin and just make it look like a natural sheen, or you can like build, like, doesn't that look so beautiful? It's just like, oh, the most beautiful sheen. And then you can go in with like another layer like right on the top and just really like amp it up. I'm gonna take a little bit of that on the tip of my chin. You wanna hear something like really fucking cool? I just used a setting spray and this fucking happened. You're going in the trash. I'm gonna try to fix this and I'll be back. Okay, I'm figuring it out. So I should probably show you this since like this is something that could potentially happen and ruin your makeup. So I grabbed my sponge, like this part, and I've just been kind of like wiping at it, like lightly doing this to try and kind of blend it into what's on my face, and it seems to be working for my face. However, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do about my eyes, so let's try to figure this out together. Yeah, so the sponge really does help with my nose, but if you see any like pulling off of the foundation, that's what that's from. Now I think I tried going in with like a clean brush and it didn't really work on my face, but I'm gonna try that with my eyes. No, I think I need to use like what I used. This was the red, so I'm gonna go over the red with this brush, and you basically just have to, I'm using like literally the tip and kind of like, you have to just kind of scrape at it. I don't know what this is. It's obviously like a setting powder that needs to be shaken. That's helping though, but you kind of have to like really buff hard, you know? Now for the outer part, is this clean? No. I'm gonna use a clean brush for it here. I'm literally using like the tip of the bristles to try and like scrape it off. It seems to be working. Yeah, it's working. I don't know if you can see, but I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. You can't really see it anymore, but it's like all over my shirt. What the fuck? It's so annoying. All right, I'm gonna finish my brows and just pop on some lashes and mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went in with these lashes from Too Faced. I keep trying to use these, and I don't know, for some reason I just don't love them. They're in the shade, in the style Doll Eyes, and honestly, to me, they just kind of look like ratchet. I like can't think of any other word to describe them. I don't know why. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just haven't worn like really long lashes in a long time. All right, let's do lips. So I'm gonna use Mina Metallic liquid lipstick, but first I'm gonna line my lips with the Melt Cosmetics lip liner in Santeria? Santeria? I don't know. It's really dark. Okay, that looks crazy, but I wanted to kind of like bring the color in a little bit. Now liquid lipstick. I haven't worn a liquid lipstick in so long. Oh, this is really pretty. It reminds me of that color by Anastasia Beverly Hills. What the fuck is that color called? Ooh, I'm gonna Sad Girl or something girl. I really love the lip color. It's really beautiful. It feels pretty comfortable as of right now. It's still drying, but it feels like very flexible. You know, not super tight. It reminds me of that Anastasia one. I want to say it's like Sad Girl or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it's like a similar color, maybe a little more on the red side, but it had that reflect in it. It's really beautiful. I love the color. I think it's stunning. And overall, I love all of the products that I used. Obviously, you know that I'm a huge fan of the highlighter and the powder already. Blown away by the concealer. Definitely was not expecting it to be so full coverage. It definitely was. So I'm glad that people recommended that to me. And the foundation is beautiful. I love it. It's very full coverage, and it's definitely a formula that I haven't used in a very long time. But same deal. Really, really impressed by it. I think it's really beautiful. I'm gonna have to keep you guys updated on like how it wears, but it definitely hasn't been like settling into any lines or anything. Yeah, and then the eyeshadow is beautiful, very easy to blend. Here's what I'll say. I was a little like taken aback just because I was expecting them to be very, very pigmented, and the colors are very vibrant in the palette. And honestly, I think this can look a little daunting, maybe, especially to a beginner, someone like looking at this blue or something, you know? But please keep in mind, these shadows are very blendable, very soft, and it's actually kind of difficult to, not difficult, but like it takes a little extra, you know? So it's gonna be kind of hard to like go in with way too much color immediately. I also got like absolutely no fallout. There might be like a speck or two of some shadow, but like really nothing too significant. What I would say is that if you are still a beginner and you're not like super duper comfortable with color, but you want to venture a little bit more into color, that's an excellent palette to check out, because I would say the majority of palettes that are along those lines are more neutral shades, you know, like the Makeup by Mario one, the Vive palette. So this is kind of an opportunity for you to play around with color, but not have it be too much or too opaque, you know? It's drying down a little bit more. The liquid lipstick does feel a little bit more dry, but it feels pretty lightweight, which is nice. Yeah, so overall, I would recommend Juvia's Place highly. I liked all of the products that I used. Thoughts? All right, guys, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. Also, thoughts about the new, like, I don't know if my face looks any different, but I tried a new highlighting and contouring kind of technique. And if you would like to see it, I'd be happy to film that. So let me know. Okay, bye.